Welcome back to Kyle's Garage, and today I'm introducing a new project, and it is this 1969 Austin-Healey Sprite, and it's something that you can get on a budget. I wanted to show all of you playing along at home that you don't have to be super rich, you don't have to have a ton of money to get into something fun. This is quintessential British car. It's small, it's got really nice light steering, the shifter's right where I want it to be, and really, I'm not a tall guy. I'm about 6 foot tall with kind of long legs, but I'm surprisingly comfortable in here. It drives pretty good. You can see I'm driving along at probably 50 miles an hour or so, and I can take my hands off the wheel. It tracks nice and straight. The brakes work, but they're not great, so it needs some brake work, and the clutch doesn't disengage completely. And these are all fairly common issues on a car like this. And with a little bit of research and a little bit of time, I think we can fix all of it. We're gonna try all the simple fixes first before we get into the big stuff. But this is the problem. When I'm slowing down, I kind of have to shift through the gears so I don't grind everything. And with the clutch not disengaging completely, I really don't even want to come to a stop. Oh, that exhaust note. Hearing a BMC A-Series engine just pulling through the gears with this muffler is just fun. Now, this car had a couple things going for it before I laid down the cash, and that is, the previous owner did a lot of electrical work. And I know the jokes are going to come in the comments about it, the Lucas Electrics and all the problems that it's going to have. But he genuinely dealt with a lot of it, which is nice. And a lot of the times when you find a car like this, it's going to be a straw that broke the camel's back type situation. You can find a car that has a lot of work done, but still needs a few final things, simply because they finally got fed up and they had to send it down the road because that one project was just a little overwhelming. And so in this case, that overwhelming project is this transmission. God, this thing's fun. All right, so I'm back from driving, and what stood out to me is there's two big things that need to be dealt with, and that is the brakes are very soft. The pedal has to go almost all the way to the floor before I really get any pressure. Something is wrong in the brake system. The clutch system is the second. For now, I'm going to call it a night, and we'll pick right back up tomorrow. And if that isn't the cutest little engine, it's a 1275 4-cylinder, and it's making in the mid-60s for horsepower. It's a fairly universal engine across a lot of British cars. Both the Sprites and the Midgets, the MG Midgets, actually share the same 1275 engine. So parts for it are pretty cheap. I mean, clutch slave cylinders were less than $20. It takes a little bit of know-how to work on some of these systems, but with research, and there's so many helpful people out there when you're looking at a car that millions of them were produced, a lot of the things that are gonna go wrong are documented. You know exactly what you're looking for, and if things happen, you know exactly how to repair it. Somebody's basically written it out in a manual, which is good. However, the problem that I had on this car actually wasn't documented. It wasn't the problem that a lot of people claim for the clutch not releasing completely. In this car, I took some things apart, and I got really excited when I first brought it home, and I forgot to film some of this stuff. So we're out of order on a little bit of this. So I'm actually going to send you guys back in time a few weeks with these next clips of me taking some things apart and explaining what went wrong on this.
Press the clutch.
Clutch on the other side? Oh, there we go.
Decided to take the clutch pedal apart because I thought the problem was going to lie in either the bushings in the pedal shaft itself, but it ended up being the pivot and the clevis pin, these little pins here. Those pins actually kind of went bad, and if you look real close at this, you can see that hole is not even close to round. So you can see it had a lot of play, and that was what we were seeing when it's pressing the pedal. The brake pedal here on the right does not have it, whereas the clutch pedal on the left does. So you can see one is round, one is decidedly not round. So what I'm going to more than likely try and do is find a friend to have this welded back to round and re-drill it, or I'd really like to drill it out and put a bushing in there and use the bushing to actually give it something so it won't do this again. I'll put new pins in it just because these are pretty gross. And then this is the shaft that went through the two pedals, and it is all kinds of gross. It looks like there is actually bushings in these pedals, but everything needs cleaned up and greased. Should be a pretty simple fix. It took a little while to get it all apart because I was learning along the way, but we'll clean everything up, go back together. Should work.
So I'm back here in the garage, and we kind of fast forward a few weeks of time, and I want to show you the repair that I made to the Healey. What happened, I boxed this pedal up and I sent it off to a friend on the East Coast. Thank you very much to Evan out in Massachusetts, because he fired up his welder and he made this hole round again. Take a look at it. Look at that. It's actually round now. He welded that all up and then drilled it and chamfered the hole and made it really nice. I sent him out new clevis pins to size it to, so I have new clevis pins. The brake pedal is in good shape, so I'm just going to put a new pin there. I have to get everything reassembled and back in the car. Of course, I cleaned up everything and painted it all because rust was starting to flash through on some of it. Just made sense. But I believe both master cylinders, both the clutch master cylinder and the brake master cylinder are fine. We're going to try putting everything back together and bleeding it all, and hopefully this fixes our clutch problem. So I've got the pedal box reinstalled and all the lines hooked back up, including the brake light switch, which works. And I'm going to fill the brakes and bleed the brakes first, because I think that's going to just be the easiest to do. And then I'm going to tackle the clutch, which is notoriously hard to bleed on these, but I've got a plan for that. So let's do the brakes first. All right, so I came back here to the passenger rear wheel, had my one-man bleeder set up, and went to break the bleeder screw loose, and none of my wrenches were working, so I put a socket on it, and I guess you could say I got lucky, because look at how bad this is. I'll see if I can get it centered in the camera. That is almost completely round. It's terrible. So I've got to replace this. I can't put this back on the car. That's just not the right way to do things. So I've got to wait until tomorrow, which means this episode's going to come to a close without you knowing if I fix the clutch or not. So you're going to have to subscribe down below or leave a comment if you think that I got it right or got it wrong. Do you think I diagnosed it properly? Do you think we're going to have a driving car at the end of this? I don't know yet. But leave a comment as to what you think. Be sure to subscribe so you'll see next week's video. Also, maybe wish me some luck, because at this rate I might need it. For now, go work on your own projects. I'll see you next week.